Good morning. I wanted to start off this week on Marriage Monday with addressing husbands directly. Now, I'm not saying anything here that I haven't struggled with myself, but it was something that was moved in me today that just wanted to bring up this subject. There is an ancient art called chivalry, which was the social decorum of knights. And there's kind of a misunderstanding when it comes to the word knight. A lot of people think it means a man who's strapped in armor and who's gone off to battle and seen those things. And I think that is one half of the story. But there's this other half in chivalry where a knight was not only to be ferocious and courageous and in battle and skilled with a sword, he was to be well-versed in poetry and education and mathematics, and he was also to be a gentleman. So he was not just to be a person who goes off to war and is uneducated and doesn't have any ability to have a social decorum about him as well, because his job was to win the heart of a lady. And I want to challenge husbands today that your role in the order of the world is to be that knight. You might have a wife who might just, the minute you walk in the door, she's demanding something out of you. The second you get in, you don't even have a chance to think. She's just demanding something out of you right then and there. But your job as a knight is not to react to what she's doing, but to love her no matter what. Now, obviously there are lines that are drawn in the sand, right? I mean, if she hits you over the head with a frying pan the first time you come in the door, I see that's pretty hard to love. Plus you're knocked out. But the other thing is, it's very easy to love somebody when they're lovable. It's very hard to love somebody when they're not lovable. Now, I wanted to read you a quote because I think it describes exactly this contrasting behavior, a person who's ferocious in battle and a person who is meek in their approach to how they love their wife. So if you're a husband and you're watching this, please listen to this quote and kind of put yourself in the situation the last time you got upset. With your children or with your wife, put yourself in the situation. If you're a person who, if you're a wife, put yourself in this situation where you can see your husband in this way. And this is what C.S. Lewis says. He says, "The knight is a man of blood and iron, a man familiar with the sight of smashed faces and the ragged stumps of lopped off limbs. He is also a demure, almost a maiden-like guest in hall, a gentle, modest, unobtrusive man. He is not a compromise or happy mean between ferocity and meekness. He is fierce to the nth and meek to the nth." I really hope that you can think about this a little deeper today when it comes to your marriages. Because the ability for your children and your wife to trust you is going to come in the moment when you react poorly to bad news or to news that you just don't want to hear, or to things that you just aren't ready for. Like when you come home from work and you're exhausted and you want to be left alone, and then you're asked to do things that you just don't want to do, or you're asked to do things that you think don't respect you. I think a knight in that moment can summon the energy to respond well to those things. Now, you might think I'm judging you and your behavior, and you might probably be beating yourself up over the way you reacted to certain things. I do that too. So I empathize with the fact that this is not easy. But I think that's the point. I think we as men and as husbands need to pour ourselves out for our wives. Even when there's times when we're not lovable and they're not lovable. I think we need to muster that strength because there needs to be a foundation stone in the relationship that brings us back to center. So try tonight. It's probably going to happen during dinner time. Your wife might say something, and she doesn't mean anything really by it, but she says something and it just annoys you. She says, "Go take out the trash," or she says, "Give the kids a bath," or "Here, take the kids. I've been here all day." Or they say, like, you don't do anything with the kids. So whatever the comment is, take that comment and then close distance with her, right? And just respond in the complete opposite way of how you feel. And I think in that moment, that's a practice that can happen over time. And I think over time, it'll soften your heart a little bit more. And I think it will soften her heart. So husbands, be knights today. And wives, try to see this quality in your man and allow him to bring it out. So thank you for watching. And I hope you enjoyed the quote. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.